Um, in most of the line charts, we get a lot of things like there's too many line combinations, and the chart itself is very hard to explain. And the students, what majority of the times do is that they try to explain each and every single thing, which is not necessarily required by the examiner. In this way, they extend the word count, means like they write over 150 words. Though it's not a big harm if you go over 150 words, but you shouldn't be going too much over 150, like exceeding the 200 limit. Now there's a line chart here. Going through this, you would understand how to attempt it. The line graph below shows the percentage of tourists to England who visited 4 different attractions in Brighton. Now the first phase that we are to do in a line chart is to introduce the line chart. Now this is the statement of the line chart given. How do we make an introduction? We paraphrase the statement. The line graph shows the percentage of tourists to England who visited certain Brighton attractions between 1980 and 2010. So this line here till 2010 is the introduction. It means paraphrasing of the statement given. Though it's quite similar, it means the same, but it has a little difference to show the examiner that I'm not copying and pasting. Line chart. The top, it says percentage of tourists to England who visited Brighton attractions. So we can see on the side it's percentage given, and the bottom it says from 1980 to 2010. And what is given to us is the blue line is art gallery, and the orange is pavilion, grey is pyre, and the yellow is festivals. So this line chart is going to be measured with percentages. So we can see there was just a little flat change of festivals. Pyre, there was an increase overall. Art gallery was a decrease overall, and the pavilion, there was fluctuation. It went to the top, and overall it had some percentage of increase at the end. So we are to summarize this statement. We are not to write each and every single thing and the changes that happen every year. Otherwise we could even write it in 350 words, but we're not to do that. We summarize, we just gather all the information, try to write it. Now if we read this sample, we would see after the introduction it says, we can see that in 1980 and in 2010 the favorite attractions were the pavilion and the festivals. In 1980 the least popular attraction was the pyre, but in 2010 this changed and the art gallery was the least popular. So you can see here the line chart itself has given, the explanation has given the summarizing of what has happened throughout the years. Now the further explanation has not been done yet. So once in this paragraph the writer has summarized whole of the information, then it goes into further explanations. Now if you read this, during the 1980 and 1990s, there was a sharp increase in the visitors to the pavilion from 28% to 48%. And then the percentage gradually went down to 31% in 2010. So if you can see the pavilion, there was a sharp increase from over 20% to almost 50%, and then it gradually came down. So you can see the trends changing with the years. So this trendy information has been explained with beautiful vocabulary, and the sentence structure used here is great too. So to require and get good bands, you are to use high level of vocabulary here. Now, reading ahead, the trend for the art gallery was similar to the pavilion. So the trend of the art gallery was similar to the pavilion. So it increased too, it decreased. Now the rate and the years were different from the pavilion, but it had the same trendy environment. It overall decreased at the end. Visitors increased rapidly from 22% and 37%. So we can see what the writer is doing here. He is one by one, turn by turn, explaining each and every single trend of art gallery, pavilion, pyre, and festivals. First, he's introduced the topic, then he's summarized it in quick sense, explaining what were the concluded output, and then he explained each and every single line individually, and he wrapped it up into overall 163 words. So this is a sample of a good writing. Introduction, summarizing, and then explaining, further explaining, and compact use of good vocabulary is required to get maximum bands, and good sentence structure is required. So all the vocabulary that I've given in my previous videos, you are to use that in your writing task to achieve good bands. This was an explanation of line chart. So